Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in. It's day 10, I think. What day is it today? Yeah, today is day 10 of Vlogmas, and I thought I'd bring you along for a very normal, cozy, casual, typical, mundane day in my life. I'm going to preface this and say that I'm a 20-year-old girl, young woman. That recently graduated from a college course. I'm currently unemployed because I'm continuously searching for jobs, but unfortunately there's just not many jobs available near me, which is great to know. But there might be an opening at a place where a couple of my friends work in February for maternity cover. So at least there's that, and I'm hoping I can work in that. But this channel is kind of the only thing I have going for me right now. And so I'm doing what I can. But yeah, there's a few things I want to do today that I know I want to do, which is, well, I need to go to the doctor's with my nan. I'm there as like translator, essentially. And I also want to read a bit more of The Death Cure, which is the third book in the Maze Runner series, because I'm trying to finish that series before this year ends. And I also want to plan a couple of my videos for later on in Vlogmas, probably the next video or the video after that. One is an anticipated reads video, which I'm going to do books that like have already been released that I didn't get to read this year that I'm anticipating to read next year, and some of them will be actual books that are getting released at some point next year. So I'm going to do some research into that. What else? What's the other one? I have them written down here. Oh, and I also wanted to do a 2024 end of year wrap up of the books I read this year, and a 5-star video of all of the books I rated 5 stars this year, which I don't really know how many that was. I think there was like 4 or 5, possibly a few more that I rated 5 stars, which is great. Honestly, it was a great year for me with 5-star reads. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about my Spotify wrap up, because I got that through the other day. I know a lot of people got it at like the 4th of December or something. At least that's when my sister got hers, because she sent me hers. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I never got it through. Turns out I had to update the actual Spotify app. So I got it like a couple of days ago. So I'll walk you through a little bit of that Spotify Wrapped. Honestly, it was quite predictable. I mean, that's obvious. I'm the one who was listening to the music. But it felt very predictable. Like, if you know me, you'd know at least 2 or 3 were likely to be on my top artists and stuff. But yeah, that's the plan, is just a cozy day with me. I'm not going to lie, I meant to start this a lot earlier, but I woke up not having the best morning of my life. Woke up extremely like stressed straight away. Like, I woke up with so much anxiety on my chest, and I don't even know why. Like I said, it's not like I've got much going on, but that might be the reason why, because I like being productive and stuff, because then it stops my brain from having too much time to think. But it's now nearly 11 a.m. My nan and my aunt are coming to pick me up at like 20 to 4. So that's a couple of hours of planning videos and also a couple of hours of reading. And I want to make a tea. I don't want to drink too much coffee because I'm trying to cut down on my caffeine intake, because it was like 2-3 coffees a day, which is a lot. And also caffeine's not great for my anxiety either. I have these little braids in that my mum did last night, but I don't want to take them out because they're still kind of cute. They've gone a little bit like messy at the ends or like around here with my baby hairs, but I can't control that, and I don't want to redo them. So I'm just going to have cute little messy braids, because quite honestly, I just can't be bothered. What else? I think that's really it talking wise right now. So I'm going to have a look at some 2025 releases because I always see the post and I'm like, oh, I'm going to save that for later. And then with reading the other books in between and stuff, they could just completely leave my mind. The other thing I wanted to do is try and, Elise, if you're watching this video, skip forward a little bit. I'm trying to find some presents for my sister for Christmas. I have her birthday present sorted and I know she's going to like it, but the Christmas one I'm not sure about. The issue with my sister is, I mean, it's not an issue, nor is it her fault, but she was born on the 18th of December and then obviously the 25th is Christmas. So it's like trying to find stuff that I know she'd like and what order to give them to her in, because I want to get her good presents for both, but because they're so close together, it makes it really awkward. Same as my dad. My dad's birthday's the 31st? No, the 30th. My dad's birthday is the 30th of December, which is like just after Christmas, and he's more complicated to buy for. I know my sister will be quite happy with anything as long as there's thought behind it and it's something she likes. She's going to enjoy the present, which is reassuring in a way. It feels like I can't really mess up with her. But I do want to search into some stuff because I have various ideas, but we put a price limit on our Christmas presents because we don't want to go bankrupt and stuff. And that way, you know, it's kind of balanced of how much we've spent on each other. But I want to find something within that budget that I know she'd like and still have like enough to buy some little other bits and bobs to go with it. It's now like an hour later. I still have a few hours before they come to pick me up for the doctors. So I'm now going to read a bit of Death Cure and then I might read a bit of, I think it's the Right Move or Play Along that I'm up to on Windy City series. So I'll read some of that as well because I set a goal at the start of this year for 50 books to read in 2025. And I'm lying, it wasn't even the start of the year. It was like halfway through the year once I graduated from my course and I could actually like have time to read and it not be super stressful because I felt like I was wasting time not doing coursework. But I set it halfway through and I was like 50 books. So I had to change it to be a little bit more realistic and I put it to 30. Not to mention I went through multiple book slumps in like the 6-7 months of reading I did this year. So next year is definitely going to be more of a book year than this year because I now know to switch up in between series of like reading 2 different books at the same time so I can go back and forth between the 2 of them, because if I follow one thing for like too long and it's completely the same thing, my brain switches off at a certain point. Like the Maze Runner series, I have to read certain things in between. However, the Windy City series, not necessarily, because each book is based on different people. So it is disconnected, but still connected. I don't even know if that makes sense. But in my mind, it does. In my mind, it makes like perfect sense. But I'm going to read some of the Death Cure now. And I don't know whether to watch some YouTube videos or to put a series on in the background or to put music on. But I'm going to put something on. Right now I'm going to sit here and read because I'm honestly quite comfy. Then I'm probably going to move to the sofa for a bit and put something on the TV. Then after that, I might try and make myself a little bit more presentable because I feel like I don't look overly presentable right now. But, you know, we'll see. Part of me just can't be bothered today, quite honestly. Like, I'm tired. I didn't get to sleep till like 1 a.m. and I was up at 6:30 this morning, which not great for me. and I have my period and I'm tired and my skin's been a little bit bad recently, so that's not helping my mood overly, but it's just life. I'm so ready for 2025. Like 2024, there's been a lot of highlights of this year, like graduating, my grades, turning 20, etc., etc. But there's also been like some very low lows this year. And I can tell they're low lows because they don't feel like they happened this year. But at the same time, it feels like they all happened at once. I'm going to now stop filming this because the camera's shaking a bit and my arm is starting to cramp. It's later in the day now, specifically like 7 p.m. I got back from the doctor's, and then after that, I played with my dog for a bit. I uploaded the screenshots of my Spotify Wrap so I could talk about it in this section here. My sofa's very squeaky. Before I went to the doctor's, I got about 50 halfway through Maze Runner, but I'll talk first about the Spotify Wrapped. Before I get into Spotify Wrapped, I read somewhere that apparently Spotify like fired or laid off a bunch of workers, and they did the Spotify Wrapped through AI, and it makes sense because the visuals were not that great, and what the actual heck, like what the hell were those weird freaking genres they came up with? But we're going to go through my personal Spotify Wrapped and I will just talk about it a little bit, I guess. So in total this year, I listened to Spotify for 23,636 minutes, which put me in like the top 16 listeners worldwide, which is crazy. Also, I thought I listened to Spotify a bit more than that, but obviously not. The month I listened the most was July. And July 28th, I listened to 354 minutes of music. I don't even know what I was doing that day. Apparently I played 2,208 songs this year, which seems like a lot. And I don't remember playing that many different songs. I mean, obviously I did, but just very strange. I can't remember that many songs that I listened to this year other than what I normally listen to. But I guess the artists I listened to did bring out new stuff, so it makes sense. My top listened to song was Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine. I was literally in the 0.01% of top listeners of this song this year, which is crazy globally, by the way. My top 5 songs were Ceilings, as I said, and then it was I Could Do It With a Broken Heart by Taylor Swift, Fresh Out the Slammer by Taylor Swift, But Daddy I Love Him by Taylor Swift, and The Alcott featuring Taylor Swift by The National and Taylor Swift. My April phase was Hallyu noise K-pop. Don't even know what the fuck that genre is or what that phase is, but fair enough. May was pumpkin spice roller skating pop. What is this? Like, where did they even get these names from? It couldn't have just been pop. No. Because, you know, pumpkin spice roller skating pop is so much cooler. And July was heatwave beach reggaeton. I listened to 1,019 artists. Again, seems very strange, but I guess it just seems like a lot, like 1,019 artists. I don't remember listening to that many, but I guess there's a lot of features and stuff that I listen to. But my top artist of the year, coming as not a surprise to most people that know me, was Taylor Swift, the queen herself, that I love and adore, and whose massive Eras tour, 2-year-long tour that I didn't get to go to, that ended literally yesterday morning, and I cried watching it live with my sister. My longest listening streak was 32 days of Taylor Swift songs, and I was in a top 2% of fans, and I spent 5,355 minutes together with Taylor Swift, and the queen herself did send me the very polite video of her thanking everyone for listening to her music. But my top artists, obviously Taylor Swift at number 1. Now, I feel like for the second one, I have to preface this by saying it is very much a guilty pleasure. For me, it's a TV show I grew up watching. And for the age I was watching it was a little bit fucked up of a show. Not gonna lie whatsoever. But the songs in the show, they were good. They had good covers in it. It is the Glee cast. The what? The Glee cast. It's a guilty pleasure. I think some of their covers are great. Other ones are not so great. The series itself was so problematic when you look back on it. But I still listen to the music and I don't feel much shame about it, which is great. My third most listened to artist was Stray Kids, then Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. And I feel like if you really know me on a deep level and you know the things I'm interested in, again, that's not much of a surprise to you. But yeah, that was my Spotify Wrapped. I feel like a lot of it's predictable and very much white girl music, other than like K-pop and, well, I mean, Glee cast is about as white pop music as you can get it. Let's be for real. But now for a little book update. I don't want to give too much away. 1, because I don't want to give spoilers, and 2, because I'm doing an entire video of me reading the Maze Runner series. It's my goal to finish it before the end of this year, which I really need to get a move on. But I'm on chapter 35, 51% way through the book, if we want to be very, very, very specific. And I thought, watching the Maze Runner movies, that I hated Wicked. Reading these books has been so infuriating because I hate them even more. Like, I didn't think that was possible, but I do. I hate them. The whole Gally and Chuck situation, that is how the, like, first film ends, which matches up with the first book. The explanation behind it, I can't deal with it. In the films, there's characters I loved and then hated, and ones that I hated and then loved. The books is very similar. There's characters in there I did not like, and then there's characters that I definitely, they grew on me. They grew on me, but it took time, but they grew on me. I just know that this is going to take a very devastating turn at some point, and it has been briefly mentioned already, and I'm not really sure if I'm ready for the way that this will ruin me, because that is what it will do. It will ruin me. But I will say the first book itself is the most similar to the movies. There's 5 books and they only made 3 movies. So whether they just didn't make movies for the 4th and 5th book, or whether it's split differently, I'm not sure. The scenery is similar in the fact of like definitely scenes taken from the books, but the 2nd and 3rd book are pretty much nothing alike to the movies. The first one is the most similar, but it's still extremely, extremely different. And so I've been looking at them as if they're completely different things, which they kind of are. Like, I'm not telling myself in my head that the movies are based on these books. I'm saying they're based on the characters that are in the books, and they went with their free liberty of doing whatever the heck they wanted with that plot in the movie, because they're just that different that I can't compare them. Like, it's just impossible to compare them. But I'm now gonna read a bit more of this. Hopefully not cry at any point. But if I do end up finishing this by the time this vlog finishes, I don't think I'll do a review or a rating of it, just because I want to save it all so it's in the same video. But I do want to get some of this reading done and then edit this video. Tomorrow I film some sat down videos. And I also want to start The Right Move by Liz Tomfordy, which I literally learned, like, I think today after reading the Windy City series for the past, 2 months. Like, I read one book from the series each month. I always thought it was Liz Tomford. It's not. It's Liz Tomfordy, which I was blissfully unaware of, apparently. But I apologise, and I will further now refer to her by the proper pronunciation of her name. I don't like this lighting. It's very much overhead lighting. I don't think you can see it, but there's literally 4 massive overhead lights in this room. I would turn it off because there's some very cute fairy light lighting that I love, and it is aesthetically very, very pleasing when I'm reading my book. However, it doesn't show up on the camera, and you literally cannot see me whatsoever. I just disappear. So I'm gonna have to leave this very much bright overhead lighting on for a while I read. I'm gonna put something on the TV while I read, just to have background noise. But that's the plan for right now. I've been reading for a while, whoa, the camera just went. I've been reading for a while. I'm speechless. I was on the verge of tears, which you didn't see because I stopped filming like a couple of chapters before I got to that point in the book. I don't even have words for what I just read, quite honestly. It's not horrifically awful to the point where I was like sobbing, but I definitely teared up. And I don't want to get to the bit that I'm dreading to get to. I really don't want to get there. But that is kind of where I'm going to leave this video. Like I said, very, very chill, normal day in my life as someone who is very much a homebody, doesn't have much going on in her life right now. And just, I'm someone who likes chill plans. Like I could happily sit down here basically all day on the bed, on my sofa with YouTube on or films or series on in the background while I literally read all day. And apparently I can't sit still in this chair. Honestly, if you give me a swivel chair, I will just move side to side nonstop. And I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from, but I literally cannot sit here. If I have my legs on the like ground and I can swivel it, but if I'm sat with both my legs up, then I'm fine. So I'm just going to sit like this to stop me from swiveling this chair. My Spotify Wrapped, predictable for me personally and probably for anyone that knows me. I just don't get the AI stuff that went on this year with it. Kind of ruined the classic Spotify Wrap that had like normal genres of music. But it is what it is. I can't control that. I can't change that. I mean, I think you guys can see in the background that I had Sarah Caroli on, who is one of my favorite booktubers ever. And what was I even saying before this? Oh yeah, I was ending the video. That's kind of it for today. I know there wasn't much going on. If you want to see a more like out social type vlog, there's one I uploaded a couple of days ago with my sister. We went out kind of just as like she had a few days off from college, so we went out and it was thanking me for helping her with a project that she needed help with, which was really sweet. We went bowling and stuff. But this is mainly my life. Like a lot of my friends have work and stuff, and this is what I do with my time, is this channel, reading, trying to stay optimistic and not question everything about my life, which I know is probably relatable for a lot of people my age. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe down below and turn the notifications on to be notified whenever I upload another video, and to stay tuned for the rest of this Vlogmas and all of the videos that are going to come after Vlogmas. I'll post like at least once a week, if not more, depending on what type of videos they are. And yeah, just join the family, join the journey. You are very welcome here. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of your views, your likes, if you comment. I just really appreciate all the support. And I will see you tomorrow in the next Vlogmas video, which I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'll figure that out tomorrow because that's tomorrow's issue. Bye.